Hi, my name's Nancy Fry. Today we're going to talk about elongating the spine. Often in our daily movements, we find ourselves slouching forward, texting on our technology, cooking, cleaning, driving. So we're looking to get a tall spine that will best support our overall health and to avoid pain in the low back. So let's start with a little check of what your alignment of your posture is. So we'll stand up and we'll come onto a wall. So we'll go ahead and bring our backs to the wall. The heels can be a little bit away from the wall, but the hips, the shoulder, and the back of the head, the back of the hands, will just press into the wall. So you're going to see if there's a space forward or if you're able to find this tall spine. And let's stay just for a moment and see if you can feel that extension. All right, so this is kind of a baseline just to check where you are. If your head's away from the wall, you know that we've got some slouching. With age, it's called the dowager hump that humps us forward. So we're looking to open up the chest and get the spine tall. All right, let's take a step away from the wall. We'll come to our mountain pose. So your feet are going to be hip width apart. Hip width is about 2 fists. If you took your fists and put them in between your feet, that's about the alignment for your hips. All right? Arms will rest down to the side, palms forward. Interlace your fingers and bring your hands to the top of your head. And as you press down with your hands, resist and press up with the crown of your head. Pressing down into your feet, you're going to feel this lengthening and extension through the spine. So ground down with all 4 corners of the feet, the ball of the foot, by the big toe, by the pinky toe, and the heel, and press up. Keep that pressing feeling and just release the hands back down to your side. This is mountain pose, or in Yoga Sanskrit, it's called Tadasana. So let's just stay for 3 to 5 breaths here. Full steady breath in through the nose. Full exhale all the way out through the nose. So keep that crown of the head extending tall as we breathe. Feet are pressing down. Imagine when you see your footprint in the sand, that entire base of the foot is pressing down as we stand in our Tadasana and breathe. Perfect. From here, let's bring the hands just to the hips and a little bit back. I'll turn sideways here. So the elbows are going to start to squeeze toward each other. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Feet press down. Crown of the head presses tall. And you're going to gently press your hips forward to come into an arch here. So imagine there's a string on your sternum and it's just pulling straight up to the sky. You can keep your chin tucked down as your hands press to your hips. Squeeze your shoulders, your elbows toward each other, and maybe you look up. Stay for 3 breaths here. You can have a little bend in the knees. It's more important just feeling that lifting feeling through the sternum. Squeeze the elbows together, lift the heart. All right, we'll return to our Tadasana pose. Maybe shake it out here a little bit. All right, with our feet hip width apart, let's put a little bend in the knees. The hands will come to your thighs. So we're just going to rest our hands, the weight of our body into our hands, resting here. Coming to the cow and the cat pose. So let's release the belly, your hips tilt back, belly softens, sternum stretches forward, gaze goes up. Maybe your elbows are bent a little bit here. And then we round to the cat pose. So straighten your arms, pressing into your legs, chin to your chest. Look to your belly button. All right, let's move back and forth with the breath. Forward, exhale, squeeze it in like a scaredy Halloween cat. Come forward to the cow, release, look up, exhale, turn it all in. Go through this 3 to 5 times, just getting some fluidity in the spinal cord. All right, we'll come back to our Tadasana standing. We're going to do downward facing dog against a wall. All right, so we're just going to come to a wall space that works for you. And we're going to stand about 18 inches away from the wall and just bring your hands to the wall. Fingertips spread nice and wide. Your index finger is going to face up, your shoulder width apart. So your hands are just comfortably come to the wall in front of you. And then walk your arms up to the sky as far as they'll go. All right, you might start to lean forward here a little bit. Maybe your forehead comes to the wall. So this is a nice extension of your spine. Stay here, or you might start to drag your hands down the wall and step back from the wall. Hands are still shoulder width apart, maybe slightly wider. Index finger faces up. Maybe a little bend in the knees here. We're looking to get the torso parallel to the floor. So maybe bring your hands down to where that works. Your head's right in between your arms, and you're going to press your hands into the wall. Extend your sitting bones back, and the crown of the head is stretching forward like when we had our hands interlaced above our head. So press actively with your hands, nice and strong, and we're getting a nice extension on the back here. This is downward facing dog on the wall. Feet pressed down, toes can be light. All right, let's gently come on out of this. We'll rest the hands down to the side, shake it out. All right, we're going to move down to the floor. We'll come on down to just laying down on the back. Nothing special that you need for any props or anything. Just to simply lay down on your back. We're going to extend forward and back. So arms overhead, fingers reach, toes reach, and we extend nice and long. Reach in both directions. Really, really reach. Get nice and extended. This is like our mountain pose, but just laying down on the ground. All right, bring your hands down by your hips. Bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor. And your feet are going to be that hip width, about that 2 fists worth, right? Hands just can rest here. Just feel the natural curve of your low back into the floor. And then wiggle your feet a little bit wider. Let's let the knees rest together. So my knees are going to come together. And we just rest. The hands can just rest onto the ground. This is called constructive rest pose. So it's nice and a good release for the sacrum area, which is at the low back. So we'll stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. Slow, deep, steady breath in and out through the nose. As you exhale, at the bottom of that exhale, there's a little squeeze of the belly to the spine to squeeze the last of the air out of the bottom lobes of your lungs, making room for new air, new oxygen to come in to feed your body, feed your mind. All right, from here, just spread your arms wide, just extending out from your shoulders. Keep your feet where they are. We're just going to let both knees fall to the left. So maybe your right knee just hovers above your left ankle. We'll gently and slowly come back through center and let the knees fall to the right. This is called windshield wipers, so we're just going to go slow motion. Your windshield wipers are just on mist, all right? We don't want to go too fast here. And it feels kind of nice if you just want to rest your knees to one side, maybe stay for a couple breaths there. You can feel this nice extension and lengthening through the side of your hip, the low back. If you decide to hold on one side, match that same duration on the second side. And we'll come on back through center. Let's let the knees touch back together. We'll just rest for a full breath in and a full breath out. Extend the legs long, arms reach up overhead one more time. Stretch nice and long. To get out of the pose, you can bend the knees, simply roll off to one side, gently press yourself on up towards seated. So that is our lesson today on extension of the spine.